I pretty much just woke up, and my eyeballs look, pupils look dilated. What is that? Was I doing drugs in my sleep? I don't know. That's kind of weird. But over at my buddy's Base Commodore's page, he's got this new kind of feature. At least I think it's new. I haven't run into it before, but there were base news, and he kind of gets together all the stuff that's going on, as far as the stuff in the world that you should be aware of. And it's great because he's got everything whittled down to the most important things. It's like what would take me 20 minutes of wandering around and complaining about people getting too close to me, he does in like a fraction of the time. And I hope he does this as a regular feature, because I'd rather get my news from him than than anywhere else. I get my news from a source that I like to call everywhere. I basically just kind of my eyes internet trawl message boards. Poll is pretty much a great place for geopolitical stuff, and what's going on with things like the death cloud is also very good, because it's anonymous, so people are reporting just to report. No one's trying to get good goy votes or upvotes or any of that Reddit stuff. But yeah, it just, watching his video just made me think about something I was saying to a colleague the other day, about the idea of schizos versus psychos. A few anons have eloquently described this scenario a few times recently. I screenshotted one of them that was really well done. The idea being, there are two classes, or two groups, two kinds of people in the world. The schizos, who see patterns, who can figure out what the psychos are doing, and the psychos who are doing a bunch of evil shit and don't really care about anyone. And that's kind of the fight. And in between are all the people that are, you know, uninitiated to this idea. Now these are like, in relation to the world's population, a handful of people on both sides. You know, the reason psychos may seem so much larger and so much more ubiquitous is because they have so much power. They control so many of the people and the resources in between. The schizos usually have none. And again, this doesn't mean you have to be diagnosed as schizophrenic or anything. It's just kind of just a catch-all term, like people that see pattern recognition, can read symbols to some extent, and kind of can the only ones that kind of realize what the psychos are doing. And this has been kind of the case. It's been called different things over the years. You know, the monarchy and the serfs, the plebes and the aristocracy, however you want to put it. The powerful, wealthy, and very evil have been just running ruckshot through this realm since time immemorial, or as I like to say, time immortal, time immortal, but time immoral, actually. So yeah, I just woke up. I'm just trying to get my shit together. I'm kicking the articulation machine. But so this struggle is played out over centuries, you know, and the reason I think Team Skits is beginning to get an upper hand is because, as I've mentioned many times before, the technology that the psychopaths use to get a lot of this stuff done, whether that technology is magical in nature, and yeah, it is, it's beginning to break down from overuse. They've been farming the cattle, myself included in that group. They see everyone as cattle. Been farming us in the same style for too long. And they're becoming more ambitious, and more ambitious they become, the more power they need, the more kids they need, the more people produced over in Africa, they need more stuff, and to get more stuff, they need to generate more power. A lot of it comes from us. So because I think this is why it's breaking down, their shit is clearly breaking down. You know, you're seeing things that you didn't see before. I mean, before, I've stated many examples over the years, but like, you'll look at something, right, but you won't see it. Like when I used to work researching in land survey, you'd have to go to find old maps and plans to figure out where someone's lot lines were. And they would have field books that would take 2 men to carry. A field book is something you keep to take notes in the field. Why would a field book be that big? It makes no sense. A large person own this, like a giant kind of sized person, but you don't, even though it's right there, you don't see it. Or the sort of what people call the mud flood kind of buildings, like where they have the windows that are built into the ground. I used to have schoolhouses, schools I go to in New England, where I'd see this all the time, and occasionally think, I wonder why they built that window into the ground, huh? Or, you know, you're watching TV and you see Ellen and Michelle Obama come out dancing, and you're like, what a goofy thing for a first lady to do, you know, and what a goofy thing. And then years later, you look at that same footage and you go, holy shit, there's a dick there. There's something swinging between those legs. So you're looking at it, right? But you're not seeing it. That's the veil. That's the veil. That shit's breaking down. It's becoming thinner. We're able to see things more. And I'm going to do a lot more on the Mandela effect, because I think the importance of that has skipped town in my mind for far too long. I feel like, in fact, I've been under some kind of spell, and it's starting to break. And starting to realize the importance of the Mandela effect being what I think is obviously some kind of intelligence that's doing this. And I think what it's trying to do is it's trying to communicate with us. It's sending us a message this way. Perhaps because it's the only way it can send us a message. And I think that has to do with the fact that, again, the veil is breaking down, and it sees its shot to be able to communicate with us, to let us know how to, I don't know, get out of here, improve our situation. There's some intelligent being, entity, thing, whatever, is using the opportunity of the thinning veil to send us messages in the form of mixed up queen layers. It sounds silly, right? But maybe it's the only thing they can do. You know, you think about Ghost. Well, you don't think about Ghost. Neither do I, actually. You know, whatever. But the point is, you know, he would try to communicate with his girlfriend there. The only thing he could do is he could move certain things. He could give certain, maybe whatever dimensional space or frequency they're coming from. This is the only way they can communicate with us. I think more attention has to be given to the Mandela effect and what it's showing us, because I always felt that these changes were some kind of random thing, but perhaps they're not random at all. Perhaps it's sending us a message. You think of like things like, you know, Dolly's braces come out to play, the thinker statue, you know, magic mirror on the wall. The larger, more popular Mandela effects. Is there a connection between all these? And if there is there some kind of language that's being, you know, conveyed to us? Is there a message being conveyed to us? Yeah, I've been guilty of overlooking that whole thing too, because the way I looked at it is like, this is completely out of my realm of understanding. It's just a bizarre thing that's happening. But no, it's the most bizarre thing that's happening. This is the most significant happening in human history. And of course, you're going to have people like, it's your memory. It's your memory, bro. Don't engage. The time for engaging with those people is over. And I'll get into that later too when I get out there and start walking around. But yeah, if you pop by here ever and you want to check out a good summary of a lot of the stuff I walk around mumbling about over 30 minutes. Base Commodore's got you covered. Don't blame the teacher, blame the school.